If you just graduated this year or know someone that did and are struggling to find a job, then this video is for you. I want to talk about why traditional methods like sending resumes on LinkedIn aren't enough and what else to do. Once campus recruiting ends, most people resort to job boards. But according to a report by USA Facts, 90% of job board applications don't even get a response. And I can speak to this. At Amazon, when I was recruiting, we rarely looked at external resumes because internal transfers filled most spots. In today's economy, talents get absorbed internally first. That leaves fresh grads with little chance to get noticed. So what can you do? Unusual times call for unusual measures. Here are 3 strategies that you might want to try. First, role flexibility. Get a foot in the door first, even with a job that you do not love. Internal transfers are much easier because your work is already proven. At Amazon, for example, retail and operations jobs often struggle to hire internally because they While tech roles are highly competitive, when I was applying to Amazon, I had no prior tech experience. So my first role was not great. It was a third-party seller manager. I got my foot in the door, earned a great rating, and used that to transfer to product management and later to technical leadership. So how do you find those roles? Look for jobs that have been posted for months and are still open. Those are the ones more likely to respond. Second, geographic flexibility. A brand name abroad is worth more than a small shop at home. When I graduated, it was 2008, not a great year for job hunting. To make matters worse, I was an international student and I needed visa sponsorship, which was nearly impossible. The main reason I was able to get an offer from Bain's Boston office was because of my internship in the year prior in its Shanghai office. Now, why did I choose Shanghai? Because to be honest, in my junior year when I was applying for internships, the US offices are too competitive. I couldn't get one. So I pivoted and prioritized brand name over geographic locations. Later on, when it came to job hunting, it was very easy for US recruiters to just call up their Shanghai office colleagues and get a track record of my work. And they trusted internal references much more than external ones. This credibility made all the difference. And this applies today too. While fresh grads in the US are struggling to find jobs, other countries like Japan and Germany are struggling to find young people to fill their jobs, and many roles only require English. Japan, for example, has an official job site called List of Companies Looking for Global Talent, and you can select to choose English-only roles. Germany too has a website called English Jobs Germany and another one called Make It in Germany. Now granted, their pay is lower, but when you're just starting out, experience and brand names matter way more than the money. Third, recruit with the next intern class. Many people think that once you graduate, you can no longer participate in campus hiring, which is not true. Many companies are not that strict and they do not filter out recent grads. I'll give you one example. Last year, I actually had an intern in Amazon who had already graduated, couldn't get a job, and applied for a student role. He got in, did a good job, and got a return offer. So how do you find these roles? One way is to go straight to the company that you want to work for. Amazon, for example, is already recruiting for 2026 class in its Germany, Poland, Australia, and Japan offices. Another way is to go to job boards like LinkedIn and search for class of 2026 or summer internship 2026, and you'll pull up the results of companies that are already hiring for the next year. Some companies, like this one, specifically said that they also welcome recent grads from the past 2 years. And this one, as another example, in its qualifications do not even list out class of 2026 limitations. Now granted, some companies will say that they're only looking for December 2025 through summer 2026 grads. However, it does not hurt to send in your resume because you never know. When times are tough, traditional routes may close, but alternative doors open. It does require us, however, to be flexible with role, location, or entry point, or a combination of those. Get our footing first, prove yourself, and use that as a leverage for later. Good luck.